Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is just going to be a quick recap on the Stanley Cup and just how great of an NHL playoffs we had this year. Well, the Capitals had great performances by both Alexander Ovechkin and Evgeny Kuznetsov, who just took off this year in terms of Kuznetsov. Like they said after the game when they interviewed him, he made himself a star in the league very soon after he just entered the league. And Nicholas Backstrom had a great playoffs too. Actually, the top three people in points are Evgeny Kuznetsov with 32, Ovechkin with 27, and Backstrom with 23 at the end of the playoffs. They carried the torch, the two vets that have been seeking that cup for a while now, in Backstrom and Ovechkin, been on the Caps. They've been lifelongers so far. And then TJ Oshie, another great player in the league that's been seeking a cup, has won the cup. So that is great for those guys. In terms of goals, Ovechkin surpassed Mark Scheifele to lead the playoffs in goals with 15. Scheifele of the Jets had 14, and then Kuznetsov, his teammate, had 12. Washington, like Ovechkin said, he even admitted to it before, that when they had their blunders in the playoffs before, he said he didn't think he was as much of a team player when he was younger, and now he just cherishes giving it to his teammates and the moment of having to win through everyone, and he knows how great that team is. They have guys like we just mentioned, Kuznetsov, Oshie. They have Vrana, who's a good, solid young guy. So they just have a bunch of solid talent on that team. Beagle. So he knows now he doesn't need to do everything, but he's still the leader. He's still the guy that carries the torch. And that shows another element to a guy like him, another element to his greatness. Blake Wheeler was third in assists, then you got Backstrom and Kuznetsov were the top two in assists in the playoffs. And plus minus, you had Kuznetsov and Brooks Orpik in the top two. So the Capitals did dominate many of the playoff statistics. So it makes a whole lot of sense that they were able to get the cup. It's like they said, this was a very surreal season for both of those teams because Washington lost some guys in free agency. And this is a year that people counted them out. They said, you lost talent. You're not going to get anywhere this year. They became right out of the they became motivated by that and got there and won the Stanley Cup with one of the best records in our conference at the end of the season. So kudos to them, kudos to Ovechkin, kudos to Backstrom, and congratulations to them. On the side of the Golden Knights, they obviously had a surreal season because they torched the record of the most wins by an expansion team in the history. They got 51 this year, and they made the Stanley Cup as an expansion team, so that is highly impressive. And they got a career year out of William Karlsson, Marchessault, and other players, so they're not going anywhere. They're going to be good. They did really well in the expansion draft. The teams of the Capitals and Knights are going to be two teams that are going to be around for a little bit, and that's a good thing. We're going to have a lot of good battles in this league. Our team here in Philadelphia, the Young Flyers, are projected to be a team that are going to battle at the top of the standings by 2020 is the article I read, not necessarily by 2019, not necessarily 2018-19 season. The 19-20 season is when they think the Flyers will really take off. But you have the Devils, they took a big step. You have other teams, like Gary Bettman said yesterday, that didn't make the playoffs last season and then bounced back this year and were able to get in. So it's great to see the quick turnaround that teams are able to make. Islanders are going to be a very interesting team out there. Lou Lamoriello and Garth Snow and their coach have been fired. So anyway, this has been a look into the NHL season. This was a great season. The Knights The Colorado Avalanche making a comeback after trading Matt Duchene. You thought they were out, and they ended up getting all the way there into the postseason. That was a great job by them. You had Connor McDavid continue to kill the NHL like he usually does. And we had Ovechkin have one of his best all-around seasons. Was a great team player this year. Kuznetsov broke out. The Flyers had Giroux bounce back this year. And Mark Scheifele for the Jets had a great season. Carlson, a lot of guys had a breakout seasons this year, which is great to see. It was a great year for the NHL. And this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. See you next year, NHL. Peace.